Welcome back to Crazy Bill's Garage, and today I got something interesting for you. At least I'm going to think it's interesting. Now, you see these numbers on here 1, 2, 3. This was the filter that was on. Well, let me first tell you this 2013 Honda CRV 2.4 liter. Fellow's name was Jeff. Still is Jeff. 217, 300 kilometers on the engine, or 135, 812 miles. This is the filter that was on his CRV before he did the good old Valvoline Restore and Protect with a 0W20. Now, he has owned this vehicle since new, so he did all the oil changes on it mostly by himself. First couple of years, he had somebody else change them at a garage, but for the rest of the time, he did them by himself. And he was using the Fram here, but since he knew they were going under, he started using the wicks for this test. So this was the one he pulled off when he changed the oil and he put on the wicks. So, and then the second oil change with Restore and Protect, and then the third. So, Restore and Protect from here to here, and then from here to here, then from here to here. He doesn't use Restore and Protect now. He's gone back to using, I think he's using, he didn't write it on there, but I think he said something about Castrol synthetic 0W20. At least that's what I believe he said. Now, we'll move these out of the way so we can see what the oil filter looked like before he started using Restore and Protect. And he really crimped it up here bad trying to get it off. He says he put it on way too tight. And I said, yeah, that happens. So I had to get a screwdriver and kind of just get her out of there after I cut her open. I haven't looked at any of these, so we'll see how they look. So that's what that one looked like before Restore and Protect. Pretty clean in here, actually. Silicone, doing silicone things. And for something I forgot to tell you, for this, he used to keep them on for like 8,000 kilometers. When he did the Restore and Protect procedure, he just left them on for 4,000 kilometers. So he was limiting the time that to Restore and Protect was in there, because he was afraid he'd clog a filter up or something. But here it is. It looks pretty good, actually, doesn't it? It's just oil down there. And that's what it looked like before the Restore and Protect. Look at the adhesive and glue all over this thing. Hey, this was a good one. He had a good one. The good old days. Yeah, he had a whole bunch of these, he said, from way back. So, it's a date stamp on here. Whatever that means. So, yeah, I'm kind of surprised he had a nice one on here. By the way, this is a XD7317. Wow. I didn't know he had some of these old ones left. So, but then he had to switch. I think this was his last one. And let me get this that off of there, and then we can. My word, I'm wrecking it. We'll cut her and see how good it looks. I did find Super Knife and have it, so there we go. Super Knife cuts through so much better than just normal kitchen knives. Yeah, I can tell this one was probably on for like 8,000 kilometers. It's pretty soft. What are you going to do? Like I said, he doesn't do that now. He usually goes to 6,000, he said. But he saved all these for me. After I found out he was doing one of these, I said, "You got the filters? You got everything?" And he said, "Yeah, I got it all still." So he brought it out to me, gave me the info. He's quite happy to have it. I want to do this too to one of my vehicles, so can't wait to try it myself. So yeah, it looks pretty normal. Let's see. I was gonna shine light on the backside. I do have my blue light, so it's not very bright. It's not going to show anything through there, is it? Okay, that's useless. Oh well. But yeah, feels like it was in for 6,000. A little bit of dirt in the valleys, a little bit of crap down there. Crap. I shouldn't use that word. A little bit of debris. There we go. That's a better word. Ah, crap. I use the word crap. Boy. But if you look at this sideways, you can actually see there is quite a bit of dirt in here. Wow. At least it caught it all. Well, we don't know. He did say he took the valve cover off, took a look at his engine. It seemed pretty darn clean in there at the valves and everything. He says, looked pretty nice. So he doesn't know how well this worked or not because he says he took it off again at the end of this. He says it looked about the same as he could think. So now we're to this one. And this is one that ran 4,000 kilometers. So let's see how good she looks. You can see she's a bit dirtier in there. Slightly. Only like 2 threads on here. Hey, what? This is a made in USA one. Oh, that's cool. I noticed right away that the anti-drain back valve was different than some of the normal Mexican-made ones. Yeah, neat. There we go with the leafy spring. Ah, so there we go. We got some debris down there now. Okay. And we got something there. I don't know what that is. But yeah, the oil looks darker, dirtier. It must have been doing something inside of that engine. I can't wait to open it up and see if it looks any better. You'd swear it was a Mexican made one. But 4,000 kilometers, he says on this. Let's cut her open and see. I noticed that these wicks now do have these problems with the tops flopping off of them. Not good. Not good. It doesn't feel like it was in there very long. It's pretty crispy still. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. I do not have a microscope. This is just to look at the filtration to see if it looks any better than. Well, it's got some debris in there and some dirt, but we've got some metal pieces in there. Actually, there is quite a bit more in this filter than was on the first one. We're going with the control on that one, the one before he started this test. Yeah, there's quite a bit in here. Pieces of metal caught up in this one. Wow, this one is quite full. Quite full of debris. Well, let's hope they get better as we go down the line. because that would actually be a very good thing. So we have number 2. So another 4,000 kilometers, another 0W20 Restore and Protect. So let's see if these ones get any better. Look a little better. The oil's not as dark. Not bad. Not bad. Mexican ones have a real spring, though. A little bit of debris down there. Looking better, though. Looking better. I don't know how dirty this engine was. Actually, he said he didn't think it was that dirty when he did this. But he decided to do it. Friends told him, hey, give it a try, see how it works. Like me, I want to try it too. So let's get supery knife here. Cut this one open. Yeah, this one doesn't feel, it feels pretty crispy too, like it's only done about 4,000. There we go. There we go. And we have louvers. Louvers in this one. Okay, we got louvers. Not bad. But let's see how well it did some cleaning. You know what? It looks a little better now. Wow. Not much in the valleys. Looks pretty good. There is a little bit, though, there in the valleys. You might be able to see. But this is the second time he used Restore and Protect and let it go for another 4,000. So that's not too bad, really. So far, not bad. I can't wait to try my own test. And now we have number 3. And just dirt. Well, oil even looks less, what do you call it? Less dark. Silicone doing silicone. And this is the third one. And yes, it even looks better in the cup. Very nice. Very nice. I'd be very happy if this filter now, compared to the first one, looks much better. I'd be very happy with that. And that would prove, well, I guess it's working. If I can get this off. Terrible. Give her a cut. Yeah, this one doesn't feel like it's been in there forever either. But I think he is using wicks now anyway, so I think he told me that. He's using wicks. You can get them readily at Canadian Tire around where I live here, where he lives. So Wix is his main choice now, which used to be, of course, Fram. And then we got louvers. Now, here's the thing. How will it look? Wow, this one is virtually clean. Wow, I am impressed. I don't see any more grit, any more debris, carbon, or anything. I see a little bit. Okay, there is a little bit of carbon, but it is virtually looking really nice. Wow, I am impressed. Now, let's take the original here and see what we got. There's the original. Look at that. That's an airplane flying low. That is what the original filter looked like. That is the last filter after using Restore and Protect. This is the first going of Restore and Protect. You can see it does have some debris in it. Carbon in the valleys. It's actually quite dirty. Wow. And some metal pieces. So as we can see, the farther he went with this Restore and Protect, the better the filters it looks like it did clean out quite a bit of that engine. And he says he couldn't tell himself when he took the valve cover off. But he says, yeah, he thinks it looked better. But he says he couldn't tell. It was pretty nice up there, anyways. It wasn't that bad. But he's going to enjoy watching this. So, what do you think? Um, would you try this? Would you use Restore and Protect? This is a good example of using it for 3 different oil changes and getting the results that actually cleaned out a lot of the debris, it looks like, of this engine. So I'm definitely going to try it myself on one of my vehicles and see how well it works. I know it looks like it does a good job. Quite happy with what these results were. So leave a comment, leave a like if you like, and wow, this was actually not that surprising. I've seen some other videos on how people have used Restore and Protect, and this pretty well going by how that Restore and Protect is working. I'm not sponsored by them, so I can say anything I want about them. So if it had turned out bad, then it would have turned out bad. But as you can see, it didn't turn out too bad at all. Well, thanks for watching, and tune in Monday for another new oil filter review.